Um, like gloves. Um, what do
Oh,
you
okay.
know? Yeah, like gloves, glasses, mask. You gotta have ventilation. You can't get it anywhere. You can't get it on the screen. You can't get it at the bottom. You gotta clean everything out. You gotta filter it before it goes into the bottle.
I don't
Uh,
follow those regulations.
yeah.
I don't.
um,
I'm a
if it
badass.
gets on your
I mean,
skin, you're gonna get a skin infection.
no,
Like
you're
the
not,
fumes
man.
that are coming out of it are like are so
I'm beautiful.
noxious, and it
I'm
fills my
20. I'm
house,
25
and
years,
it's
man.
just horrible.
My skin is 25 years.
Hmm.
I'm beautiful.
What's up, Mike Sido? What's up, brother? Thanks for joining the stream.
I know, Mike,
Hmm.
Mike, 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 the Greek
Yeah,
burrito.
The Greekness.
Yes, the
Hmm.
Greek burrito.
Hmm.
Oh, oh.
Yeah, but that, and then you got to put it in a solution, and then you got to take off the thing, and then you got to sand it, and then you got to prime it, and then you got to do that. I was just like, oh man, I just really, really am not into toys that much. Like I love
I
sculpting
told
them.
you. I told you. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, it's way too much work
It's a lot of
for me.
work.
For me, not for other people, but for me.
But I ordered 11 liters.
Hmm.
So, and they looks like they fixed my wiper and stuff.
Oh, nice,
So I'm gonna be pretty. Gonna be
nice.
pretty.
Hell yeah,
All
brother.
right.
Hell yeah.
I'm getting pretty to the moon. Pretty to
I don't know
the moon.
why.
I don't know why. Oh, that's fabulous. Just print it like that.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
This is my
Just
next piece. It's gonna be $79.99,
yeah.
and you gotta pay shipping.
Z plugin. Pretty pretty.
Let's get going.
It's good.
Trying to think about how to break this guy apart. Hmm. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. But yeah. What about you? What are you working on? You still sculpting your characters?
Now I've been working on that game.
Oh yeah.
Um, um, yeah, yeah. I'm printing stuff now as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because my issue right now is the resin because I bought another type of resin that I was testing with milkshake,
Right. How was it?
but it doesn't work that well
Mm-hmm.
with the milkshake because different different how do I say it different um, there's different options or different chemical reactions on resin,
Right.
right? So
Mm-hmm.
you can't really use. I mean, I would if I would go. That's the thing I had for a couple of days now. If I would go and test different resins
Mm-hmm.
on the milkshake,
Mm-hmm.
I would have to have uh, 15 liters of glycerin all the time
Oh yeah, yeah.
because you need to take out all the shit, put in 11 liters of glycerin, and then you pour the resin. And you test it, it doesn't work. Then you have to um, take it out, put
Mm-hmm.
new glycerin, and then you have to put new resin to test that out. So I'm not really interested in that, you
Right.
know. So I just ordered the sesame resin,
Right.
the one you get from milkshake, and I'm gonna just continue clicking the button and just print.
What are you printing
Yeah.
now?
I'm printing. Uh, I just put in a small thing, but it's. Let me see if you see my screen. I printed this.
Oh, okay, nice.
And
Did you
here's the
sculpt that?
boots, the boots, and they come in like this and like that.
Oh, nice.
And I'm printing the rest right now.
Nice. It's looking good.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. So, and the keys actually fit. That's
Mm-hmm.
nice.
All right.
Yeah,
It's always a good thing in
I
3D
think
printing.
like not to say anything about your engineering,
Mm-hmm.
but I think the F1 Gym
Mm-hmm.
it needs to re-engineer the keys for sure
Oh, yeah,
because
yeah. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing with that.
I think you just need that tolerance to add some tolerance to
Mm-hmm.
your keys. That's it. I think that's it.
Oh, nice. Yeah, because I redid it before tried to print it.
Mm.
Um, so I'll give you that file.
Yeah, because I saw you printed in green color the torso,
Mm-hmm.
right? But is that when the other fail came in?
No, the other fails came in at what should we call it? When I was trying to print the arms and the backpack. Um, it turns
Okay.
out that there was like a little break in the film, and there was resin that was on
Ah,
the
fuck.
LCD
Yeah.
screen.
Oh my god. Yeah.
So it was pretty much ruined. I would have to buy a whole new LCD screen and like
No. Fuck.
yeah.
Oh my
And
god.
because I looked at it, I was like, well, maybe I'll clean it. But then I was like, if I clean it at all, it's gonna leave some scratch, and
Yeah.
it's just not going to work anywhere near where it's supposed to.
So what happened is that you had a hole, and the resin just got into the LCD screen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, man, that means that some parts of the printer are damaged. Is that
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
you
But I
you
learned
you,
my
you
lesson, dude. It's just not. It's not to where I need it to be for my patience level. Because it's just.
I mean,
I,
I'm quoting you right now. I'm
mm-hmm.
quoting you. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
listen. If it's good enough for Raf Grossetti, it's good enough for me.
Mm-hmm. And it
And what happened?
is. It is. But I don't have the patience level. I don't have the patience. I mean, I've already got like work I need to do. I've already got the sculpting that I need to do. I don't want to spend another 2 weeks like figuring out how best to print this thing. And yeah, and it just the whole smell was just disgusting, dude. It was all in the house, and I don't know
Yeah,
what I mean, it's like you have a miniature plastics factory in your
yeah,
home.
yeah. I mean, I bought an air purifier, so I
Mm-hmm.
have it on,
Mm-hmm.
so it helps, does help. But I mean, I can die tomorrow. I can die next week. You
Mm-hmm.
never know.
Yeah, I just
Okay.
don't want to die because of 3D printing, dude. Fuck
Yeah. I mean, I
that.
mean, I'm gonna have my wife 3D print my grave.
Oh yeah, in your coffin.
Yeah. So and it says in 3D print, he died because of 3D printing.
There you go.
Okay.
It's the way a Viking, true Viking,
Yeah.
goes down.
Yeah. That's true writing. Yeah. I mean, I bought a tool that killed
Hell yeah.
me. Yeah. Valhalla.
Oh, look, the bravest of us all, Cornelius. He killed himself with a 3D printer fumes. You are most
3D printer
honored.
god. I am 3D printer god.
Oh,
Now you've done well, my son. I salute you. But I'm sending you back to 3D print more.
yeah.
Yeah. So besides 3D printing, how you do?
Oh, doing good, doing good.
Good.
Got some uh, time in between gigs, so getting some personal workout and
Oh, nice.
getting the stream going. You know what I'm saying, brother?
Because you want to know how much I gave for that resin?
Um, $900.
What do you think? It's
It's like
no,
$80 a piece, right?
1,500.
What?
Yes, you have shipping, you have tax
Oh shit!
on that shit. You
Oh
know, it's
my god! But hey, man, you got it. You can afford it, so it's all good.
Mhm.
I mean, you're rolling deep like that, right?
What do you mean?
You got that deep bankroll.
Ah, ah. No,
Mm-mm-mm.
I don't roll deep.
No,
Nah, I mean,
come on, dude. Don't you make like millions of dollars a year?
I mean, th- there was a guy that contacted me that was referred by you to me, that I had a milkshake and blah blah.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. From Instagram.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see.
Yeah, we don't need to say his name, but yeah. Um, so to go well.
Yeah, I told him that I'm waiting for a part that's gonna be repaired,
Mm-hmm.
but it's here, so I need to contact him again.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Who is he? Is he
He's a 3D artist. And he just wants to get it printed and shipped to him.
okay? Is he cheap?
I have no idea. I've never dealt with him on a project, but he is a good 3D artist. So I'm pretty sure he understands things cost.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Um, that's cool. Okay, so I'll contact him and back him. So where's messages on Instagram on
Uh,
desktop?
there isn't. You have to go through. You have to go through your phone.
Oh my god!
I know. I hate that. I hate that like phone
What
only
happened with
stuff.
technology? Why can't you just make a button?
Right.
Messages.
Give me the button.
What? With the all right. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you'll see me more. That's why I said you'll see me more. You'll see my footprint.
Hell yeah, brother.
So are you going to Zebra Summit next year?
Oh, absolutely. You gonna go?
Mm. I'm I'm gonna talk to my wife. I'm gonna tell her I'm going there.
That's it.
I'm I'm gonna take my dick out. I'm gonna say I'm fucking going there. Right?
Right. That's all there is to it, woman.
I'm gonna kick it to Zebra Summit. Okay.
That's good. We can hang out then.
Mm. Mm. So let me see Twitch there. Mhm. Remember, just give me here. You can see
Oh yeah.
yours, brother. They good, looking good.
Oh yeah, brother. Oh yeah, brother.
Mm.
Mm. Yeah, hopefully this will be print worthy. This will be fun. Oh, you seem to knock out these pretty quickly, so. Oh damn, Neely's with that 1,000. Thank you, brother.
Those 1,000, man.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, well, welcome, motherfucker.
64. Oh, damn. Lanky brother Neelish. Oh, snap. Is that
I
me?
mean, you still work for Quebec. What is it, Quebec?
Oh, Ubi? I think the contract is over. Because I turned in my final assets and there wasn't that much time left on the contract. So, but yeah, that was a super dope experience.
Hmm. You think you get more?
Hopefully, yeah,
Hmm.
that'd be good. I mean, they enjoyed my work and I turned everything in a reasonable amount of time without any, um, you know, like when they whenever they gave feedback, I was just excited to do it. I mean, shit, I'm doing stuff for Ubisoft. I mean, like, how am I gonna be like oh man, I gotta make it look better? It's like, nah. So it was a good time. Good time. Like I
Yeah,
always enjoy feedback, um, when it's paid, of course.
yeah. Of course,
But
it's a big skills.
yeah, because it usually ends up looking a lot better each time. So
Oh yeah, that's good. Right.
are you gonna stream as well, brother?
Um, I'm actually thinking about doing it when once I get the resin, so I can
Oh, okay.
actually engineer something and 3D print.
Oh, nice.
That would be cool, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What do you can do that gig hopefully on stream.
Which one?
The one from Instagram. You gonna try to do that one on stream or?
Yeah. That would be cool. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that would be cool. Okay. Yeah, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Oh
yeah, yeah,
fuck
yeah.
yeah! Oh, fuck yeah! I just, I think I need to revisit. I mean, mm, yeah. I will do that for sure.
Hell yeah, that'd be good. Start to finish.
Start to finish. Yeah. Um, hmm. So there's a guy that wants to play with me. Worker free. Worker free. You know, worker free Reforged console. Yeah.
Oh,
You know?
really?
Yeah.
Did you ever get Borderlands?
I got the Borderlands 2,
Mm-hmm.
and not free.
Mm.
You have that?
Yeah, it's pretty fun, dude.
It is?
Oh yeah. We play late at night after work and all that stuff. So
Hmm.
I don't know what time. I mean, I guess early morning is pretty much family oriented for you. So I don't know how often.
Yeah, I'm sending kids to school, and
Yeah.
yeah, but I mean, you can. Is it like how many hours from now?
I would say it's maybe about 9 hours from now is when we usually play.
Yeah, it's 6 in the morning. Then I
Mm,
sleep.
yeah,
Uh,
get that sleep, brother.
yeah, yeah. I need to get some food.
Hell yeah.
Okay, okay. Talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure. I'll be working.
Nice. Good streams. Good
Hell
streams.
yeah, brother.
See you later.
All right, peace.
Peace.
Alrighty, everybody. So it's just you and me now. But yeah, just working on this. Walking Phoenix, Skottie Young. If you don't know who he is, super dope. Love his artwork. Love his style. And yeah. So we got good stuff going on. Let's get it a little bit more, a little smaller. Okay. Alrighty, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so we can make it a little smaller. Somewhere around there. Okay. So we're just going to get these proportions. Just wanted to sketch in the head a little bit. There we go. And thinking about breaking the jacket apart now, but let's make some cartoon hands. So going to insert cube. We're going to solo this out. And we're just going to, let me cube it. And activate symmetry. And we're just going to get the overall shape of this down. And let's turn off symmetry. We don't want two thumbs. Something like that. Right? I love QMeasure. QMesh is the dope. Move that. Well, let's just make it a little bit longer. Something like that. Get you water. And I appreciate all of you who are watching and joining in the dojo. If you have any questions or anything like that, definitely feel free to put those in the chat. Yeah, I think that's good enough. That's good enough for some hands. And let's actually make this back part a little bit thicker. So I'm going to choose flat island. And instead of just Q meshing it out, I'm going to hold shift. And it's just going to pull that entire island out. And I think what I want to do is bring this in. There we go. And again, Q mesh the flat island. And he's got his hand bent like that. So we're going to add one in there. Bring this down right here. And bring that right there. And let's make it a little bit skinnier. So going to unmask all that, click this little Google icon so it's back in the center, and something like that. Alrighty, and let's pull this pinky side out a bit. Again, Google icon, bring that out. Let's add something like that. Bring this down Just a nice little block out. You know what I'm saying? Just a nice little block out. There we go. Alrighty. Now we can do something like that. And pretty much anything that we do that just has this nice curve should work because it's not very detailed or defined. But I still like to get these basic shapes out of the way before I start diving in to a bunch of work. Alrighty. That there. Bring this over. Boom, boom, boom. Right about there. Okay. Is there anything else I can... Let's grab this. Bring that down. Let's add something in there. And add a bit more. Right about there. Alrighty. So let's start. Okay. So let's apply that. Let's subdivide it a couple times. Let's see. Did he do the cartoon fingers or 1, 2, 3, 4? Yep. Okay. So we only have 4 there. Gonna start off with just sketching it in with the damn standard. 1, 2. Let's see if we can get that a little bit more even. Somewhere around there. Bring that out. 2, 3. A little knuckle action right there, you know. Let's see. And let's give it a little bit more three-dimensionality so it's not just this little square. We can start adding some knuckles. And let's see. Yeah, just keep going with this little form soft. If you haven't used form soft, I suggest it, especially if you got heavy hands. It's like the standard brush, but it's not so peaky, I guess is the best way to describe it. And just making sure that we have that meat on the side of the hand. Because even though it is cartoony, I still like putting in little hints of actual anatomy in there. Or at least things that are consistent. Boom, boom. All right, and let's just make sure this isn't too square. And I'm going to use the clay buildup. It's pretty comfortable for me in terms of like just getting a sketch going. Let's get one more break and then fingers. Let's get one more break. And let's round that thumb out. And bring that out. I think that'll look better. Oh, and I forgot to thank all the new followers. Let's Solon888, Igminator, Phantom Vortex, Mav3D, Mr. L. Louise Neto, and Barry Patel. Thank you very much for joining the ZBO Dojo. Okay. Bring that up. And let's give a little bit more meat here to this ulna side. Boom, boom. There we go. And let's see. Give another bump here for the nucleus. Go up. And let's make sure this is going down. We don't want it too square. Awesome arts, authenticity, what's going on? Let's see. And let's bring this a little bit higher. Just gonna bring this down a little bit, kind of clean this up. And give a little bit more meat on the side. Bring this over. And let's see. And let's just get this set up normally, and then we'll readjust it whenever we pose them out. And let's oh, multiple levels, delete lower. Clear and weld, and then reconstruct, reconstruct, reconstruct. Okay. Alrighty, so we'll call this his shirt, and then we can kind of just extract everything afterwards. So I think what I'm gonna do. So these arms look about like 6 heads long, like 3 here, 3 here. So 1, 2, 3. I don't even think we're close to being long enough on these. I'm gonna separate these out actually, and I'm gonna split hidden, and we are going to go local symmetry, and we're gonna take these out a little bit more. 1, 2, 3. Still a little bit longer. And let's reposition these, activate symmetry, and put them back. Let's widen them out a little bit. There we go. And pretty sure his legs are the same issue. 1, 2, 2.5. They're a little bit shorter, but it's just a sketch, so. Pretty sure we can do something like that. And trying to think if it would be easier to extract it in pose or extract it out of pose, or I mean in T-pose. Probably not going to be any different. So the only thing we really need symmetrical is a face for right now. So I think I will kind of, let's just pose these out real quick. So going to mask that. Well, let's see. Let's go into T-pose mesh. I think it'd be easier than going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. All right, so going to get a mask lasso. That way I can get a little bit more of an organic shape. Gonna activate symmetry. Gonna hold Alt while I do it. That way it unmasks what I've just selected and masked everything else. I'm gonna go here. We're gonna bring this that way. Let's grab this and oops, bring it down. Like that, and let's grab this again, rotate it back, and we can make it asymmetrical later. Let's grab these, Google icon, mask, bring everything back, invert the mask, and let's turn these in, rotate it somewhere around here, and bring those in, make them a little bit bigger, and rotate, rotate, rotate. Beep, beep, beep. And then we can make shoes separately and just slap them on there. It's no biggie. Alrighty, grab these, mask, invert the mask, and let's grab. Let me deactivate symmetry. That. This here. That. Unmask this. that there. And we can inflate that later. It's not big. We can add let's oops. Let's grab this and rotate it back. And I'm just gonna move that back right there. Hello, unusual Joker. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I figured it was something different than what everybody else is doing. And I love this guy's work, so win-win-win. There's no way I'm going to attempt a photorealistic Joaquin Phoenix. No way. Oops. Okay, we gotta switch a song. Right, there we go. Alrighty. And let's bring this down here. Down right there. And we can probably tip his head a bit more. Got that. Mask. Put this in the center. Okay, it doesn't have any symmetry. I think it's good for initial pose. Let's unmask everything and get this and bring that up. Get a little bit closer to center. And let's mask that and then bring it closer to center. We don't need, the arms to be exact same length. I think the asymmetry and the sketchiness of this doesn't really need to be refined that much. And let's bring this elbow in a bit. And over. Bring that one back. Let's unmask. And we'll probably lengthen that body a bit. Yeah, somewhere around there. That's what I love about his work. You don't need a lot to really get the whole gesture of it. And it just reminds me how simple things can need to be to really work. All right, grab. Let's see. Go. There. That. Bring everything back. Put this in the center. Rotate it. There we go. And let's send everything back. Well, actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to auto group all this. I kind of want to move this over. Right about there. And I'll twist his shoulder girdle at the very end. I kind of want to get some things out symmetrically, and then we'll do that. Let's get his balance going. So let's bring this in, and let's just get it kind of going straight. Bring this up here, and then make sure his foot is roughly underneath all this. We can probably let me unmask all this, bring this over, bring it over a little bit, and I'm gonna reset the gizmo, bring it forward a little bit. I think that looks a bit better. Yeah. What do y'all think, chat? What do you think? Let's see. Let's get this. Okay, so this elbow is right on top of his hair. And we're gonna change all this eventually, but let's still kind of line this up, and then let's bring this Google icon, bring this right around here. Polyslave looks awesome. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Bring that over. Maybe that was a bit too much. Okay. So I think it's good enough to send over. There we go. All right. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. All right. So first thing we're going to do is kind of just rough these out. I'm going to turn off symmetry because we're definitely out of symmetry now. But let's, what I want to do, at least for right now, is I want to crease this right here. So I'm going to go crease, edge loop complete. Want to get that. I want to get this, so that way whenever we apply that dynamic subdiv, it's still going to keep that angle. Because let me show you on this. So we don't have a crease here. When I press D, it gets all noodly, and that's really not what we're looking for. So all you gotta do is just crease that edge. Oops. We're gonna turn off symmetry, and we're gonna crease that edge. Crease this edge, and then you can also crease polygroups, and they'll keep that nice and sharp, which I'm gonna do on this one as well. Crease polygroups. That's under crease in your subtool. Crease polygroups, and that's a real quick way to get some shapes. Okay. Okay. Let's make some shoes real quick. For that, let's append. Really append to anything, doesn't really matter. I'm just trying to think of what I want to start off with. Probably just a cube. Okay. So let's get this out. I'm going to activate symmetry. Going to Q mesh single poly. Then bring this out. Make sure it's long enough. Going to add a edge right here. Right there. Going to grab those two, bring it down like that. Then going to unmask this and bring it down. And there's the beginning of our shoe. Make KXX38. Hello back to you. And we're going to insert something like that. We're going to call this the left foot. So I really try to find the easiest way to get the result I'm looking for. So instead of like hand sculpting this edge or smoothing it or whatever, you can just use your Z modeler and all that stuff and get it out of the way. And before I add this curve, I'm gonna add one more right here. And this is going to be our end step. And this is going to be our pinky side. I'm just going to bring that down, right? Because if we did it straight across, see how like boring that is? But if we have an angle, it's a little bit more interesting to look at, right? So big believer in angle. So actually, instead of just bringing that one edge out, we're going to bring this edge out with it. Make XX38, what time are you usually here? There's really no set time for right now. I'm trying to just get in the swing of things, but I'm planning on streaming like Mondays and Wednesdays. But hopefully it just depends on how much client work I get in. Like right now I've got a little bit of a lull between gigs, so just filling it up with streaming and personal work. But later on, it may be less, maybe more, you know. But I'm gonna try to get at least 2 days a week for y'all. All right, so hope that answers your question. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Let's see. So going to, I think I'm going to split this. Let's see how this works. We're going to split that. And we are going to Q mesh, polygroup all. And bring, oops. Let's polygroup this flat island, something else. Okay. And then let's go back to our Q mesh and let's bring this up. Right around there, I think is good. And let's raise this edge. Oops. Insert an edge, and you can see how it's just like really flat up here. What I want to do is, let me see, let's bring this edge out a bit more. Somewhere around there. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this center line right here. Going to invert it, and then just make sure everything under here is masked. It should be. And we're going to give it a little bit of a dome, just a bit, so the light doesn't catch it in such a unbelievable way. Unbelievable in a bad way. I'm going to bring this down a little bit more, and let's see if we can get a little sharpness out of this edge right here. So going to crease, let's go straight down the center, and let's go here, and let's bring this edge down. So let's clear our mask. Try that again. There we go. And we're going to bring that down. And let's get this tip up a bit more. And I'm going to Google icon it. And I think instead of from there, I'm going to tip it up. And we are going to bring this edge, going to Windows key, hold Alt, and click this reset orientation. Bring it forward just a little bit more. And then we've got something. Let's, instead of the crease level at 15, we're going to change it to about 3. And I would like to have this edge come out a bit more. So I'm going to Q mesh poly loop right there. And we're going to Q mesh this out. Let's see, what is it giving me? let's try. I think I'm gonna select this by hand, just so it's a little easier because it's coming out the back end of the heel, and I kind of don't want that, so I'm gonna do that. Oop. And let me Q mesh a single poly. We're gonna do something like that. Then we're going to crease it so we can maintain those shapes. And let's do the same for the heel. We're just going to do it manually. And let's see, that might be too thick of a heel, actually. Let's add an edge here. Maybe we can get away with it. Maybe we can get away with a poly loop, but I still only want it on the edge anyway. So let's just hand select it. And let's bring this out. Okay, and let's crease that. Oops. Space bar, crease, edge loop complete. Boom, boom, boom. And there we go. We got something in there. And smooth that. And let's stop this creasing right around here. And let's reset orientation and Art Coorg. Cool. Thanks, brother. Thanks for joining the D Live community. And I think again we're going to uncrease this. Let me see, I need that crease. Let's try this, invert it, get rid of it. Leaves us that bump. Maybe, oops. Maybe just here. That'll get rid of that little line that we're getting. Yeah, I think so. Okay. And let's just get our heel out a bit so it's not so square. Right here, invert it and just bring it out a little bit. You can even bring it down. So we have this nice little curve here. And let's get this center bit. Bam. And let's send it home. Widen it out. And there we go. I don't know if we need to crease that edge or this one. Ooh, why did it go all the way down there? Oh well, no one's gonna see inside there anyway. Let us split this again and polygroup and bring this out, unmask it, get it right here. We're gonna level it out, make it a little bit smaller. It's pretty thin right there. And what else does he have on them feet? This, yeah, it looks like a shoelace. Yeah, we can add that. We can do that later. Just for the block out. This is good enough for right now. I think so. Okay, so let's add it to our character. So turn that off. Call this left foot. Boom, boom, boom. Rotate from the ankle. And since it's solo poly, we can, grab this and just move it forward pretty quickly, pretty easily without any major distortions, right? Like that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to mirror and weld it. Oops, it's still on local, so I'm going to turn that off and mirror and weld it. Now we got two. Going to unmask what I want to move, and we're going to put this into place. And we're going to send it to the center. Something like that. Let's rotate from the ankle. And let's give this a little curve so we can kind of indicate a little bit better which foot is which. And again, making sure we grab it from a little bit more of an interesting angle than straight across, right? And now we've got this curve going. If you haven't watched Zhe Long or Zhu Long's presentation at the Zbrush Summit, highly suggest you do. You'll look at curves totally differently, just like I do now. And yeah, try to incorporate it into everything. All right, so let's start blocking in the major forms of this. I'm just going to apply the whatchamacallit, dynamic subdiv. We're going to go down. We're going to add his leg muscles. You can see it doesn't need to be that pronounced. We can actually skinny this up and then increase that. Let me get some water over here, everybody. I'm putting in a workout over here in the dojo. Alrighty, let's turn that off again. Let's turn that crease level. I guess we already did it, huh? Well, let's, before we put that into action, let's okay, so let's crease polygroups, and let's turn that crease level down to about 2. It's closing, so around there, and that's good enough. We can work with that. Let's go down 2. Now 2. Go. I kind of want that crease on the leg a bit more, so we'll go with that. Yeah, we'll go with that. All right, so we'll apply that, and let's go back to adding our leg muscles. So I know it's just a cartoon, but I am still going through the anatomy in my head in terms of where this angle is. So this angle that we're putting right here, this little right there, that's your rectus femoris, and it's going to create that. But a lot of people sculpt the rectus femoris going up into the top of their hip, but it's supposed to be going into the inferior iliac spine, or inferior anterior iliac spine, which is this little hook that's underneath your superior. And so just making sure that trajectory is going down and not up into the hip. Okay. Here, going to, oops, keep getting that big old brush. Let's see. Okay, so little bit more in the front. And let's, oops. If you want to increase your draw size, you go to Preferences, Draw, and then Max Brush Size. I'm going to take it up to 5,000 just because I need more options in my life. Okay. Right here, a little bit thicker. Again, adding those leg muscles, but not too much. We don't want them, you know, bulking up or anything like that. He's a very, very thin individual. Okay, so here, let's do the same with these. Oops. Let's apply that, and let's, I think what we need to do, yeah, we need to apply it and then subdivide it a few more times. And where I'm going to be putting most of the meat is going to be where the elbow is, where all the bunching up of our biceps and our extensor and what am I thinking? The extensor and what is grip? Can't believe I'm getting out of that. Ugh. What is that? Extensors and contractors, I guess. That's the best I can think of it right now. But anyway, gotta make sure he's got a little bit of a shoulder and make sure the meat's back here because he's got his shoulder rolled back, right? And I know it's just a cartoon sculpt, but these things do really help sell the overall feeling of this character. All right. So he's a little flat here. What I'm going to do is just give a little bit of some three-dimensionality to it. And of course, you got to have a Joker butt. Okay. We're going to subdivide it a few more times. And again, we're just going to be blocking in some basic anatomy. Just making sure that's going there. We have this wrapping around. And you see this little highlight right here? See how sharp that highlight is? We're going to try to fix that. Because what it looks like is from down here, you just got this sharp angle coming around. So we kind of want to just even that out just a little. And then we can kind of get a little hint of like a rib cage going. You see where this is coming down. You got your pecs, you got your lats right here. There, we can still kind of lock in the rib cage because, you know, I don't know if you've seen the movie. Spoiler alert, but you can see his rib cage pretty prominently. So at least going to make sure that's roughly blocked in with all this. But yeah, if you haven't yet, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, people. All right, I'd really, really appreciate it. Trying to stream more consistently. I do teach an online class over at the XMD Academy online, and we're going to be streaming pretty regularly just to keep up with that. So if you're interested in taking a course, there's plenty from creating hair to creating something ready for 3D print, to creating for collectibles, and many more coming, concept art, environment art, and all that other good stuff. So yeah, if you're interested in having like some one-on-one teaching or any of that other stuff, feel free to drop me a line, and yeah, we'll make sure you're hooked up with the best instructor. So just little hints of things. All right, so now we got that. We've got our arms. let's, I don't like how flat this arm is right here. So going to use my Form Soft brush. I'm going to subdivide it one more time. And we're just going to soften that edge a bit. And again, I know he's not super buff or anything like that, but just give a little indication of the tricep. Okay. Right there and right here, just a little indication of the heads of the tricep. And going to move this back a bit. Well, actually, we're going to be moving the torso, so to match this pose. All right, so if you want to know how to create pretty quick clothing, the best way I've found is just using the extract method. And now that the ZBrush has been updated, it's a whole lot cleaner, a whole lot quicker. So what I'm going to do is just use this mask lasso. I'm going to invert it and going to clean that up. And we're actually going to be on his shirt. So what I'm creating is this vest right here. Okay. So this, let me solo this out, make sure we got enough for his arms to fit through. That's a little bit too close to the edge for me. So something like that, I think would do it pretty well. So we're gonna go over here, going to extract. It's a bit too thick. So we're gonna go 0.005 and extract. And that's a little bit more than my speed, so we're gonna accept that. We're gonna group loop this just because it's so harsh on this. Let's go edge loop, group loops. Let us polygroup this together correctly. So we're gonna go here. Like that, invert this, Control W, grab that, Control W. And let's polish by features so we can get that nice and clean. And kind of get rid of all that waviness. Let's go ZBrush and let's go 2.5. Let's keep groups. And I think that'll be enough right now. All right, so that's something we can work with. So let's polish these features one more time and see how it's getting rid of those edges and that sharpness. And let's ZBrush it one more time, nice and clean. So got that back, and pretty much we can do the same for the jacket because we just created the vest. It actually could be brought down a little bit more. So has anyone here seen the Joker movie? Did you enjoy it? Did you like it? Was it good? Did you see it again? Would you see it again? Let's see. And let's ZBrush it one more time so it's nice and clean. And yeah, I like that. Okay. So let's see. Polyslave, not seen it yet. Well, I enjoyed it. The first time I saw it, I didn't know. I didn't know if I liked it or not. But yeah, it definitely grew on me. I just kept thinking about it and thinking about it. And I was like, man, I know it's a good movie. I missed something. But yeah, it was a good time. Good time. So let's see if we can bridge these two. I think we can. I'm going to go here to an edge. Doesn't matter what edge. We just need to select the function. We're going to bridge. We're going to go 2 holes. We're going to go we'll go with spline. Bridge 2 holes should be good. So we'll go here and then we'll click there. And did it close it? Did it close the hole? Did it bridge? Let's see if we can close it. Let's close concave hole. Oops. Right there. And that's good enough because we're just going to zero mesh it anyway. So let's zero mesh it again. And boom. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get our mask pin so we can get this nice selection right here. We're going to go right about there. And we're going to get our move brush. And we're going to move this over. I kind of want to... I'm going to do this a little bit more mechanically so it doesn't get all wavy. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it with some masking and some movement. So we're going to move this over and under. Not seen it yet. Better than Dynamesh Zero Mesher. I mean, there's really not much in terms of like what's better or worse. I mean, it's just like, hey, was this easier or more comfortable for me? Yes or no? And so hopefully, I mean, like, it's hard to say like what's really the best and for each situation because each artist is so different and things make sense to people in different ways. So try not to use best. I try to use like things like this is how I use my workflow, you know, because I'm always open to learning a new workflow. Always open to that. So I'm gonna crease polygroups and we're going to take that crease level down because it's a little bit more clothing than hard surface. And I think that's good. And again, for this, I'm using move topological. So that's only going to use or move one part of the mesh at a time. If it's disconnected, it generally shouldn't be moving. So we've got that. Let's bring this down, bring that down. There's something behind me. Jesus Christ, is that dog? Yeah. That's my dog. My little Poochie Poo. She just had leg surgery. Well, not just, but she had leg surgery a couple weeks back. Had to get a tumor removed, but she's good now. She's good now. Thank you for asking. Thank you for asking. Alrighty. We're going to widen that out. And bring that forward. Okay. So basically we need to create a tie, which is super simple. Let me show you how to make that real quick. So we're going to well, we can append anything, doesn't matter. We can append whatever, right? Cylinder. We're just gonna Q-cube it. We're going to rotate it 45 degrees. Boom, we got the head of it. We're gonna make it a little bit thinner, right? We're gonna make sure it has some three-dimensionality to it. Let me make sure I'm on that right there. We're gonna bring this to the back. Woo. Bring that down. not my favorite results. Let's see. Let's try this. Bring that. Bring this. Slide that out. Okay. Bring this together. And let's crease. Let's see what crease polygrips will do. I'll keep most of it, but I don't want these right here. So I'm going to switch to Z, remesher, go to crease, and we're going to just uncrease these two right here. And we're going to crease these. Just so we can get that sharpness. And actually, I don't want this creased at all. Grab this. Bring it down, something like that. Grab these, scale it back, and then we can pretty much do the same thing, just extend it out. And oops. And let's mask these and that. And let's scale this back. Let's grab these, bring those down, and boom, you got a tie. Right, let's go down. Let's go 1, let's go 4, and still manipulate things, still get it looking a little bit better, a little bit more realistic. Right here, and let's take a look at it. Let's send it to home. Send it to home. Alrighty. Let's bring that down. A little bit more. Activate, reactivate symmetry. Send this down, and we can bring that up a little bit. And then whenever we put the collar on, to pretty much cover those that transition up. And the coat's going to cover that, so we don't really need to worry about that. Let's bring this hair down. And okay, I think that'll work. Let's grab this. Here, it's just kind of throwing me off a little bit. A little bit better. Alrighty. So let's get this, move it down a bit. Let's add some buttons on this. May KXX, is there good money in this? Yeah, it depends on how you do it. There's people making hundreds of thousands of dollars doing this. I make more than enough to pay for a house and myself and my dog and travel and all that. So Yeah, you can definitely make money at it. You just got to be, good, obviously, and then make sure you network well. Make sure you're making good friends. Make sure you're, in a artistic community that, you all just want to be the best and want to do your best and all that. And it's a pretty good way to start succeeding. Let's see, what else? What other advice can I give you? I don't know. Just depends. Depends on what you're gonna do. I guess what I'm trying to say is you can do plenty of things. Anything that you practice at, you'll get better. And if you really enjoy doing something, people will pay you to do it. So, I mean, it's just really up to you, just deciding, hey, I'm going to be a 3D artist or you're not. I've seen people I teach at a university, seen people with zero artistic skills, zero artistic knowledge, and now they're sculpting heads. So it's, and that's just like 6-7 weeks later. Are they great heads, the most amazing heads? Some are, some aren't. But it's still a huge leap from 0 to something in 6 weeks. And that's don't do that, baby. And so, yeah, it just depends on, your training. Depends on your training and how much effort you put into it. Alrighty. But yeah, hopefully that answered your question. And I think I'm going to put these shoulders out a little bit more. I feel like they can come out. And then let me see how far out the shoulder is. I mean, I know that's not the actual shoulder, but it just these feel a little bit too high up. Wait. Stop that. But yeah, we might be ending the stream for a little bit and then coming back. Let me see if I can kind of get this far enough. Oh, okay, she stopped. Alright, so bringing that back. Making sure the pecs are going over the shoulders. Because, I mean, again, I know it's just a cartoon thing, but all these shapes matter. I mean, the shape of your torso matters regardless if it's stylized or not. You just gotta try to know the basics. Yeah, she might need to go out. We'll see. Is that what you need, baby? All right, brothers and sisters. The dog has summoned me. I'm going to end the stream. I'm going to get something to eat. And then I will definitely be back to... I'm going to try to finish this guy up. For the most part, live for you on stream, and that way you can kind of see how it all comes together. A fixed dog. Yes. Hey, don't do that. Yeah, she's chewing her stitches. But yeah. So definitely come back. I would say in about 30-45 minutes I should be back. For all the new followers, all the new peeps, I greatly appreciate y'all being here. We are going to finish this up today to an acceptable level. So definitely come back and make sure you join the ZBHO Dojo. If you haven't seen the Shrine of Creativity, this is Lord Father Frazetta, Saint Joseph, Saint Paul, Saint Ryan, and Archangel Raphael. So thank you for being here for the ZBHO Dojo. I'm going to get something to eat. I'm going to carb up, get ready for the next roll. But yeah, I really, really appreciate y'all being here. Definitely come back, share, like, subscribe. You know the deal. But if you want to come back to the ZBHO Dojo, I need 25 push-ups and 25 squats before you enter this dojo. Polyslave, this is so awesome. Thank you very much. I'm glad you like it. And I will see you very, very soon.